This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Hey, Rubes, this football season, Bell Bank is giving one KFAN listener each week $1,000 to pay it forward to a charity of their choice. Just head over to KFAN.com. Keyword contest, learn more, and enter today. That's KFAN.com. Keyword contest.
You've got to be kidding me.
You guys are going to criticize whatever you want to criticize. Okay, calm down.
One of the more bizarre stories of recently would be, this is Dateline Indianapolis, headline, Associated Press. Former NFL quarterback Mark Sanchez is now facing a felony charge in Indianapolis altercation. Former NFL quarterback Mark Sanchez is now facing a felony charge of battery involving serious bodily injury, in addition to the misdemeanor charges stemming from a weekend incident in Indianapolis that led to his arrest. Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears made the announcement about the new charge, which carries a potential sentence of 1 to 6 years in prison. Mears says the investigation is ongoing. Mears says one of the challenges you have in a case like this is that you are dealing with individuals who are receiving medical care. That's obviously the most important thing, that individuals are treated appropriately. Once we were provided with additional information about the victim's current medical condition, it became clear to us that additional charges needed to be filed. Sanchez had been scheduled for a court hearing Tuesday on the original charges, but that was rescheduled to November 4. Sanchez remains hospitalized and was enlisted in stable condition Monday morning. The Fox Sports analyst was pepper sprayed and stabbed multiple times during a late-night altercation in a downtown Indianapolis alley over the weekend, which resulted in criminal charges against him. A police affidavit alleges that Sanchez, smelling of alcohol, accosted a 69-year-old truck driver who backed into a hotel's loading docks, leading to a confrontation outside the vehicle that prompted the driver to pull out a knife to defend himself. Sanchez was hospitalized with stab wounds to his upper right torso, according to the affidavit signed by a police detective. Truck driver, identified as PT, had a cut to his left cheek. Mears said his office received an amended probable cause affidavit Monday, which led to the additional charges because the truck driver suffered serious injuries. They're still gathering information. Mears said the chief and his team continue to work on this matter, continue to track down additional details for us, and really supplement that probable cause affidavit. I cannot say enough good things about the work that took place with the police department. There's a ton of information to sift through and gather. And that's all we have. And the question that I can't seem to get answered, though I've never asked it of anybody, what led to the confrontation? What was Mark Sanchez doing near the loading docks in an alley at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning? And what led to the confrontation with truck driver guy? And according to the investigation, they seem to believe that Sanchez is the guy that was at fault, that the truck driver was defending himself. I mean, I can't even begin to venture a guess, and that's why I guess we don't. You know, you want to speculate, but I'm dumbfounded by the whole thing. What is he doing in an alley in a loading dock
Well, if there's alcohol involved, that can answer.
Well, yeah, but I drank a lot. Matter of fact, if there was a drinking Hall of Fame, I'd be first ballot unanimous. Now, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I quit drinking.
What?
Yes, I quit drinking back. The last time I was drunk was, I was drunk every time I drank. Drink, drank, drunk. May 19th, 1990. And then I put the cork in the bottle, said enough is enough for me. I'm not having fun anymore. I don't enjoy it. It's a waste of time, and it's getting out of hand. But I never found myself in a back alley. I mean, I got myself into some trouble. Anything that happens after midnight and Drankson's involved, generally good things aren't going to happen. But he was supposed to call. Which game was he supposed to do yesterday? Must have been the Colts game. If he was in Indianapolis, I would assume, right? So he was supposed to be on the call of the Colts game, and obviously he didn't make it. So where that goes from here, we'll keep you posted, Tennessee. It's one of those stories where I'm not sure.
And I'm assuming if it was self-defense, they probably can't just take the guy's word for it. So there had to have been witnesses or some cameras somewhere.
Well, you're thinking of loading dock. There's probably some sorts of cameras. This one says, come on, we all know the answer, drinking. Well, yeah, but he was drinking. He was drunk. But why was he in the back alley? Now, someone said, from what I read, he was drunk and said the driver can't park there, assaulted him out of the truck, which the driver pepper sprayed and used a knife to defend himself. Now, I don't know if that's the way it went down. I don't know why Sanchez would care. I still don't understand what he was doing. You got a game to call the next day. Was this Saturday night, I think. He's calling the game.
Yeah.
He's drunk and he's in a loading dock. I don't understand how he ended up there, but I guess that's for. Well,
if you end up drunk, I think you can end up in lots of places.
Yeah. I guess. Why the loading dock behind you? Unless he was so drunk,
probably a bar nearby. I don't know. And he started wandering around.
Yeah, I know, but why? If you're drunk and you're at a bar somewhere, you call an Uber to take you back to your hotel because you got work to do.
I agree.
Day.
That's what logical people would do, yes.
I'll be curious to see if we ever come because this was said was Friday night to early Saturday, so it was Friday into Saturday, not Saturday into Sunday. I don't know, but that's the story as I see it. Have you watched any of Major League Baseball playoffs at all?
No.
I've not taken a deep dive into it, but I was footballed out yesterday, and I was one of those guys. I thought the Bills would probably beat the Patriots pretty handily, and I got to admit, Tennessee, at least for yesterday, I wasn't waiting all day for Sunday night. I wasn't. So I noticed when the crew, Terry, Jimmy, Johnny, Gronky, Terry, all the rest were signing off. They said, hey, you can catch Tigers Seattle on FS1. So I said, you know what? Little baseball, why not? So I turn over. The Scooble guy's pitching for Detroit. This guy can flat out spin it. He, in game one against Cleveland on the best of three in the wild card round, I think he set a Tigers franchise record by striking out 14 Cleveland Guardians. He was simply brilliant. He won the Cy Young Award last year. I think he might win it again this year. Last year, I think he also had the equivalent to the hitters Triple Crown. I think he had the most wins, best ERA, and best strikeouts. I think that's the Triple Crown for pitching. He's on the hill yesterday. He surrenders two. They had Mariners win in extra innings. They had a 2-0 lead. I think it was either top of 8 or top of 9, and the Tigers scored 2 runs to tie it, and then I fell asleep. And when I awoke this morning, I checked the score, and Seattle won in extra innings. That best of 5 is tied at a game apiece. But Seattle had built a 2-0 lead, and guess how they did it? Polanco. 2 home runs. 2 solo home runs against Skubal, but we didn't need him. We thought we should trade Polanco. Not 1, but 2 home runs off the best pitcher in baseball. And that's what gave them the 2-0 lead. Of course, they lost it in the 8th. Tigers had 2 runners on. I think might have even been it was either first and second or second and third, and somebody caught an inside pitch and ripped it down the right field, just got in the right field line. And got it, you know where they have the padding by the fence, but there's always about a foot between the dirt on the warning track and the padding. The ball got stuck down there, and the Tigers tied the game. But we didn't need Jorge Polanco. We just didn't need him. He was brilliant.
It's right too expensive for us.
He was too expensive for us. And we traded him we didn't get Lopez out of the deal. But now I can't.
Who? No, but that wasn't the Pablo Lopez one.
Wasn't that?
No, that was a Rise. Polanco we gave away for very little, if I recall.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Rise. Yeah, Polanco. We didn't need him either. So we didn't need a Rise either. So, now I can't say where I heard this, but my sources tell me that I think the Twins will be trading, and you've suspected this all along, that it is going to be, you think that was a fire sale?
Yeah.
My guess is neither Lopez or Joe Ryan will be back with the club next year. That's what my sources are.
Shut her down if that happens.
We'll see if my sources know what they're doing. Tenneby's got a keyword for us. Try to put $1,000 in your hand.
Yeah, the fan and 2 men in a junk truck want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks for their national cash contest. Just enter the keyword bank at KFAN.com now for a shot of winning. That keyword is bank. Enter now at KFAN.com. This is not the one you want to be laughing at. Babies cry, and that's normal. But if you're feeling overwhelmed, it's okay to step away. Never shake a baby. Shaking can kill, and 1 in 4 don't survive. Survivors often face permanent brain damage. Learn more and give today at nevershakemn.com.
Please do. Do so now, without hesitation. Forgot to do the giveaway. I was going to do it going into break.
We got time.
Let's go ahead and give it away right now then.
Okay.
Oh, no, wait. That's right. I thought this was the last bottom of the hour break. We'll do it going into the last break. I thought this was the bottom of the hour. How time flies when you're having fun. We've been spending maybe an inordinate amount of time talking about quarterback whisperer as we move into the bye week and then get ready to play the Philadelphia Eagles. Is that there or here? I don't recall. For some reason, I think it's...
They're coming to our house.
They're coming to our house. That's good. If J.J. McCarthy is deemed healthy, ready and raring to go, should he be starting against Philadelphia? Or should you say, hey, Wentz has been pretty good. Hasn't been brilliant, but he's helped us win, especially yesterday. And that game-winning drive, he was exceptional. He was 9 for 9, 80 yards. In a had-to-have-it moment. It wasn't like there was still plenty of time left in the game. This was going to be their last possession of the ball. Thanks to Kevin Stefanski a little bit. I mean, they ran the ball the first 2 times, and then they decided to throw. And as you pointed out, you might want to run again there just to wind down the clock, force the Vikings to use their final timeout. But I think he was, and because it's a rookie quarterback and all the other intangibles, you could have made the argument he probably should, because they only ran off 13, 14, 18, 20 seconds off the clock and gave the ball back to Minnesota. But if the kid does complete a pass, it's game, set, match. But Vikings got the ball, and then they went down the field, and Addison finally contributed. I remember he missed the first quarter coach's decision. He missed a walkthrough. Have we heard I'm still wondering why Sanchez was in a loading dock between Friday and Saturday morning. Do we know where Addison was?
Do we have any indication?
That's not been reported that I've seen.
I haven't seen it. I'm sure maybe we're going to hear from KOC in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So maybe it'll be addressed then.
Exactly.
I'm guessing he won't acknowledge where he was.
But in some of the, we've been talking a lot about who should be the quarterback. This one says, based on his history, Wentz is not the type to sit quietly if he gets benched. He'll be vocal with teammates and probably undermine JJ at every turn. Tough spot for the quarterback whisperer. And, maybe historically that might be true, but there was a quote yesterday. Wentz was asked if he thought he should remain the starter. Here's the quote, Tenneby. I've done plenty of looking ahead in my life that I'm done doing that. I'm very much trying to live in the moment and appreciate the moment right now. Now, that's what he said immediately following the game. I suppose that could change. Let's say this week goes by. My guess is most of the players get this week off now, right? They get sent wherever they want to go. So they're all going in separate directions, going wherever they want to go.
They're booking cruises on Lake Minnetonka.
And then they could be doing that. And then they'll be brought back following week to get ready for the Philadelphia game. And maybe it'll be at that time where we'll find out that first team reps have been going to J.J. McCarthy. And maybe at that point, Wentz will sort of change his mind and think to himself, wait a minute. I've been pretty good. What are we doing here? But it sounds like, especially after all the stops, think about Tenneby, how he started his career. He was the number 2 pick overall, right? Yeah. And was it his second year where he had Philadelphia on a roll? He gets hurt. They end up going to the big game and winning the big game with the Foles kid at quarterback. But Wentz has got to feel real good about the trajectory of his career. And ever since then, it's been a struggle, right? He set an NFL record, not one that you really want to set. He has started for 6 different teams in 6 consecutive years. He was sitting at home, not on a roster when we decided Sam Howell wasn't the guy. So my guess is he does just take it.
He's not in a place to.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's taking it a day at a time. Just going, you know what? I didn't even think I'd be playing this year, and here I am and winning games. It's been fun, and we'll see what happens. We'll break. We'll come back. We're taking an early break because we think the head coach is supposed to address the media at about 2:30. Let's do the giveaway, Tenneby. Flop, Sweat, and Tears this Saturday at Max's on the Green in Spicer. They got a hotel there, a golf course. They're doing plane stay packages. But we have a pair of tickets to give away right now to the Shack. 7:30 start. Doors will open at 4:30 Saturday at Max's on the Green in Spicer. Be the 11th caller at 1-800-320-5326. 1-800-320-5326. 11th caller will be a winner from Max's on the Green and all of us here at the Fan.
It's a play.
Join KFAN's Meat Sauce at Fleet Farm in Hastings this Saturday for their Oktoberfest celebration. Join us from noon to 2 for the opening of Toyland, yard games, and more. Get the full details now at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
Couple 13-14 pass on Common. He is Tenneby, awaiting the arrival of the head coach of the soon-to-be big game world champion Minnesota Vikings, Kevin O'Connell, the reigning coach of the year. He'll talk everything purple with the 500 trip across the pond. And Tenneby, as I've said before, if I've asked you, if you were going to have an experience that was not unlike that of a PGA Tour player, if you were going to shoot a 90, would you rather go 50-40 or 40-50?
50-40.
Yeah, because you feel like, hey, finish strong, trending in the right direction, figuring things out. I'd rather, if I have to go 500 across the pond, I'd rather lose the first one and win the second.
Sure.
Come back with a nice taste in your mouth. It was a nice victory yesterday. Again, it wasn't a perfect game by any stretch of the imagination. And I think sometimes too much fans and media, we're looking for this perfect game. We start nitpicking, and I don't even necessarily call it nitpicking other than you're just pointing out what has happened. But I've gotten better at just, enjoying each game for what it is. That was an entertaining game. I mean, it was frustrating if you're a Vikings fan. There was some things that you're just left rolling your eyes, shrugging your shoulders, and shaking your head at. But as the coach likes to say, and I bet he'll say during this news conference that's about to begin shortly, I think, he'll say, we were at our best when our best was required, because that's what they did. They made a stop of Cleveland when they needed to stop them. They after giving up huge chunks of yardage on the ground, they were able to come up with 2 no gains. Or I think like one was a yard or 2, and then they had a no gain. And then Stefanski decided to throw the ball incomplete. Vikings got the ball back. And then Wentz in the offense went down the field, and he completed, I don't remember how many plays the drive was, but it was 80 yards. He went 9 of 9. So he was really good. Addison finally contributed. JJ was his normal. He was brilliant again yesterday. And, you know me. I go back and forth on Jets. Is he the best receiver in football, or is he just among the top 2, 3, 4, 5, and again, after yesterday, it's hard not to put him as the best wide receiver. He made a number of remarkable catches yesterday in traffic. He was without him, they don't win the game. It's obvious. You can say that about a lot of players, but he was really good yesterday. So they get the win, and right now all is right with the world. Kitty's at 4-1. Again, they did not play very well against the Bungles. They had a 28-3 lead. Bungles made it a little closer than it appeared. What? Packers had a bye. Did the Bears have a bye?
Both are off, yeah.
The Bears
both
had a bye
Packers
too,
and Bears were off.
So right now, as the standings are, Kitty's 4-1, Purple 3-2.
Yeah.
Pack is 2-1-1.
Correct.
And Bears are 2-2.
They're 2-2.
So yeah, so it's interesting. I'm not sure. I don't know. Does Detroit have the bye this week? I don't think they have a bye. I think they play, but I don't recall who they play. But worth keeping an eye on. And
Lions are playing Sunday Night Football at Kansas City.
Are you still
a little tough stretch here for the Lions?
Yeah.
I didn't realize this because they've got Tampa Bay the following week at home, and they've always seemed to struggle with them a little bit.
They have.
Then you get the Vikings at home, at Washington, at Philadelphia. So that's a tough 5-game stretch.
They've got a tough 5-game stretch. There's no doubt. I mean, and that's the thing when you have these schedules where everybody in your division, you play kind of the same opponents, right? Vikings, Packers, Bears, they all got to play these guys. You have to play them. So
now the Packers, on the other hand, this looks like a stretch they could make some hay.
Okay.
They host the Bengals next week.
That's a W.
At Arizona. They might be a mess after yesterday.
That could be a W, should be a W.
At Pittsburgh as they reunite against Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
And then Carolina at home.
Yeah, the Pack could be back for this stretch game. And I said this at the beginning of the season when we were kind of handicapping the divisions, and I think we both agreed it looked like, on paper, the NFC North, if they weren't the best division in football, they were amongst the 1 or 2 best, right? And I said, I like that. I like when the teams are all good, so it's more, it's interesting. In a perfect world, you'd want your team to be the 17-0 club if there's going to be a 17-0 club. But I will say this. I like that the division's tight like this, and objects in the mirror are closer than they appear, and we'll see how things pan out. The Ravens, though, they're looking like they've just basically given up now. They had the loss to Buffalo that went back and forth, and they lost. And who did they lose? Was it the Kitties they lost to first? Then they lost to Buffalo, or vice versa?
I don't remember the order.
They lost.
I thought Buffalo was first, wasn't it?
They lost 2 games that they had just as good a chance to win, and they lose those games, and now
got smoked yesterday.
Just smoked.
At home against a mediocre team.
Yeah, it's just it's alarming in how much longer is, because Lamar's out, right?
Yeah, I don't think they've really given us a long-term diagnosis. They kept every single day last week. They were making it seem like it was breaking news if he didn't practice. So I would assume it's not a super long, but it's hamstring, I think, right? You never know with the hammies. And then, especially for a guy like him that runs.
As we mentioned, both the Bills and Eagles lost. Were those the only 2? There are no more undefeated teams, right?
I think that's it.
Those are the last 2 of the undefeated teams, and they both have a loss now. So should be fun. curious to see what the coach said. It didn't seem like there were any more. Did anybody leave with an injury yesterday for the Purple? It seemed like we stayed pretty healthy during the game, did we not?
Just the Darrisaw one's a little concerning. Yeah. That he has himself still on a pitch count, and
then the
most important drive of the game when we're already without 3 offensive linemen, and now you got to go without him.
And then there was the
Carson Wentz,
the Carson Wentz, where he, that's the danger of. And you know what? I admire him for trying to get that. That was a critical moment in the game. He's trying to get the first down, right? And that's when you're at your most vulnerable, because he just got plastered on that. He got hit by, it seemed like, 2 guys, and then He left the game just before halftime after taking the hit, went to the tent, then went inside, and you weren't. Brosmer, did he take 1 snap, a kneel down?
Yeah, the kneel down at the end of the first half.
So then you're wondering, is Brosmer going to have to play in the second? Well,
and we had no emergency quarterback after him. So, Cam Akers would have been the next guy up.
Cam's got talent. He's 1 for 1 on the season. So, Wentz to be able to come back and play. We'll see what... I would think if he finished the game, he'll be fine in 2 weeks.
It's his non-throwing shoulder. Yeah. He'll be fine.
So I think he should. I don't think there's going to be any issues there. Where's the head coach?
I know this is going to surprise you, but he's late.
Oh my gosh! Above average. Saw the Wolves beat Denver, didn't you? Did I not?
You're excited about the preseason performance?
Did I not see Ant's name in the box score? I don't think he played. Do we know why?
I would assume we just don't want to risk injury to our best player.
Well, Joker played for Denver. I don't see any other teams doing that. Here's KOC.
Everybody. Obviously made it back late last night. Just want to once again compliment our staff and the folks that put together that trip, both with the league, but most importantly, people in-house here that allowed us to have a smooth trip and able to win a game yesterday and go into the bye week off of a victory. A lot of things to really touch on from the game, but I have to start out and just compliment our offensive line. The group we had out there to start the game, and then obviously, had some guys, some moving parts there throughout, but I thought Blake Brendel, for his first time playing center, the tape really, personified everything we think of Blake and have from a versatility standpoint, but for him to step in and run the show the way he did, communicate, and played with physicality and technique was a real positive for Blake. I thought Joe Huber, really getting his first significant snaps against a really, really good opponent and some good interior players to go along with the edge guys that they had. He played well, and Justin School's versatility to start out the game on the right side and then finish on the left gave us some critical snaps. We tried to have a very calculated and detailed plan of a variety of different ways of how we were going to, kind of handle one of the best defenses in football and try to, limit some of the damage that they routinely cause against most teams that they played. But it required our players taking that plan and making it come to life. And I thought Justin had some critical snaps where either, certain players were moving around and trying to avoid some of the things we were deploying, and had some one-on-one reps that allowed us to make some big time plays in the game. And then Walter Rouse stepping in as well was good to see him ready to kind of meet that moment. Ryan Wright tied his career along with the 77-yarder in a huge moment to kind of flip the field was critical. Justin Jefferson was outstanding as we talked about last night. I thought Carson being very gritty, kind of battling through his left shoulder and kind of having a really productive night. And that last drive was efficient. It was calculated and really just total trust and commitment from the group to do what was required there to win the football game. So a lot of other performances wrapped up when you find a way to win a game like that under the circumstances we were in. So thought our coaching staff, handled the week very well from a standpoint of preparing, and it wasn't exactly the normal week we prepared that we hoped it would be, but our entire group handled it in a really mature way, professional way, and we were able to get the win. Just to give you guys an update on Carson, we did get back pretty late, early, really actually early this morning. So he's still getting further evaluation, but he's pretty sore in that left shoulder. So that will be something that we'll be taking a look at throughout this week. On a kind of a different note, we do expect, hopefully 4 players to return to practice in different capacities next week. But J.J. McCarthy, Donovan Jackson, Blake Cashman will have his 21-day window opened, and then Michael Juergens should be able to, come back to the practice field as well. So getting some positives here at the bye. It comes at a big time moment for us, where we've obviously had some adversity from an injury standpoint, and we'll continue to work through that. But I like the way guys have stepped up, and the way our team has battled throughout this first 5 weeks, and we go into the bye at a critical time where there's still a lot of things we can improve on, but most importantly, getting healthy will be a critical thing.
Is wearing women's underwear part of your
17 game-winning drives since taking over. Is there something in terms of your philosophy when you have those opportunities of play calling or how you manage the quarterback in those situations that you feel like has really worked for you?
Yeah, Matt, I think it's a circumstance of a few things, right? Like a lot of times in the game, things are expressing themselves throughout. You're kind of answering some of the maybe not necessarily unknown questions, but either unscouted looks or unique ways Justin's being defended or pressure plan, whatever it might be. And then being able to kind of take all of that information and put it together in a way where all I want the quarterback to do in that moment, and really all 11 guys, is just to be able to communicate at a high level. If we're in the no huddle, how fast and efficient can we operate? How on top of rules of, catching the ball inside the numbers and getting vertical, catching the ball outside the numbers and trying to get out of bounds. Little things, how we spot the ball, how we try to use our no huddle offense, that we have different phases of it and kind of layers to it to be able to apply in those moments. I think it gives us a pretty extensive menu to choose from. And then we're able to kind of, the final piece of that is the trust, specifically of the quarterback, to just kind of trust in each play as its own, not trying to think that there's a need to overcome the play call and find the deep element in the play. If we're just trying to get the ball out, we're trying to have a unique aspect, specifically yesterday, of a protection plan, and then just methodically use the time. I think we got the ball with 3 minutes left, and Kevin used his 3 timeouts, and there was whatever was left on the clock there at the end. So it was efficient. It was, a lot of, in some cases, sometimes, shorter completions just to ensure ourselves a new set of downs and then be able to reset. I thought a couple guys made some pretty critical plays, run after catch or getting out of bounds, that just kind of allowed us to, move in chunks of yardage, or in some cases small chunks of yardage, but then reset and try to, play that next sequence of downs that way. And I think that's kind of how I've always looked at that phase, and we put a lot of time into it, and we know games are going to be close. A lot of ours have been close, so we've had plenty of opportunities to kind of make that number go, and it's been something that's helped us win a lot of football games.
In those moments, you plan to ramp up JJ physically next week to try to get him ready to start?
Yeah, it's not. It will be this week as well. He'll be here. We'll be able to, get him some extensive work, kind of as a lead-in to next week. And then, I anticipate his workload building up. We're going to really take advantage of that bonus Monday, not only with him, but with our whole team. We're going to spend some time as a coaching staff making sure we're self-scouting and taking a look at exactly, what we've been. How much of what we are is tied to the adversity we've kind of dealt with injuries, and then what do we want our identity to be as a team here as we attack the post-bye part of the season. And we've a lot of work to be done for sure. But yeah, I'm excited to get back here. JJ got some work today, and he'll get some work throughout the rest of the week. We got some other guys he'll be, getting some work with. on the field, and then we'll pick it up officially next week. But I'm encouraged about where he's at right now.
Going back to those late game situations, in those moments, how important is it for you to sound regular or composed or normal when you're calling plays so the quarterback doesn't hear any signs of stress or excitedness out of you?
Yeah, I think it's a weird type of communication, right? They can hear my voice, but hopefully they're not looking over at me to see the way I'm delivering it. So it is something I think about from a standpoint of how I'm delivering information. And what gets hard is when the play clock starts to creep towards that 15 number and you're trying to give the information that's in my head to the quarterback so they could best execute the play. And it might not even be for that play. It might be, making sure that they know to give if we are huddling, give the huddle a reminder of what could be coming. So if I'm a receiver that ran a 20-yard route to the left out near the sideline and I've got to get to a certain spot rather quickly, I would rather them have at least a preview of that ahead of time. So it's all those little things, and it's hard to put your finger on one thing, but that's a great aspect of it that I don't think gets talked about enough, but I try to be as poised as possible in the moment. I don't always do it. I'm sure the many quarterbacks we've had play in those situations would say that they can tell I'm trying to do it, but it's not always consistent. So that's always something you're trying to get better at as a play caller, making sure that I think you get the most value received when you can operate like that.
And watching the game back, what did you see on Will's field goal attempt? Because there was some video angles where it looked like it might have hit something.
Yeah, I didn't notice anything during the game. That's a pretty tough angle normally for us anyway. Most of the time I'm just trying to gauge the crowd reaction of, depending on if the video board in the stadium is in real time. Sometimes it's on a slight delay, so you can't watch that, but you're really trying to just gauge the crowd reaction. And we did have a lot of purple at Tottenham Stadium, so it was one I did not notice it. I did not see it in the moment. I would defer to the league on if that's something that there should be some protocols in place that I should know about. But other than maybe somebody in the booth alerting me that they saw it, or Will himself is going to be a critical guy in that moment. But a lot of times a kicker's a lot like a golf swing. They're keeping their head down and they might not even see it initially. He told me he thought he hit it well, and Will doesn't end up that far offline, historically, since our time having him here. But yeah, not really sure what to say on that one, other than that was unfortunate if it did happen, and if it didn't, so be it.
Kevin, what's your quarterback assessment of Cam Akers, and what do you just think of his execution on that play?
Yeah, I think Cam has always been a guy that I've known could throw the football. But what makes Cam so unique, that was really his one play on offense. And he comes in the game and executes the play perfectly, exactly from the details of, where we wanted, how we wanted him to sell it, the track he took when he initially caught the ball, and then his ability to kind of understand that there would probably be a little push and it would have to be a little bit of a kind of a fadeaway jumper, and he spun that thing and right in stride to Jo, and felt like it was the right time to try to see if we could pop that one for a touchdown. The guys made it come to life. But yeah, Cam's fantastic from a standpoint of exactly what you're going to get from him, and you can put a play like that in front of him and he just has a big smile on his face and attacks it throughout the week, and then he made it come to life exactly. I will say that was his best throw of his ops we got to see on, but he did complete them all leading into it. So he saved his best one for the game.
Have you been wanting to do that since overlapping with the Rams with him, or is it?
Yeah, and we had him throw a couple times in LA. I do remember that, and I just remember when I was doing the evaluation process, Thomas Brown at the time was like, you got to see his YouTube clips, because he's got all of his touchdown throws from Florida State, or his completions from Florida State were on YouTube. And then we got to know him a little bit through the process, and I found out quickly from Cam that he threw for 3,000 yards as a high school quarterback. So just ask Cam, he'll tell you. But no, look, you're trying to find ways to score we felt like there was an opportunity that presented itself from some previous clips, and it played out.
At center, do you plan to just try to plug Michael back in when next week, or does Blake still kind of stay in the mix there?
Yeah, I think what we learned is we have another high quality center option with Blake, and getting Jergs back practicing again will give us a chance to assess what the best 5 looks like, and that's what we'll go with, and we'll work through that accordingly. But Blake had a really, really strong day.
Coach, what is it maybe about, I guess, Blake's demeanor or just his approach to the game that you did feel confident, and especially the communication piece?
Yeah, I think his one comment coming out of the game was just how much fun he had. He had a blast going out there and doing it. I think he's got great football intelligence. I think it applies to playing the center position, because there's a lot of moving parts that go, and you need your center to be able to kind of direct in many ways. He's the quarterback. The way we handle our offense, he's the quarterback of the run game, to be able to identify some things and at least starting points, and then the quarterback can solve some problems maybe from an external landscape. But for a guy that has played tackle, he's played guard, he's literally played almost every spot besides that during our time with him here. For him to step in and perform like that, it was a big moment, and we needed it for our team. I don't think our group as a whole, I don't think the O-line group could have played as well as they did without Blake having the performance he did.
Just in terms of JJ getting back to practice, what are you looking for from him over these next week and a half, 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think it's a good opportunity to get back to he's had some real moments of growth through this time. I think watching the way Carson's kind of gone through progressions quickly, just the value of putting the ball in play, even when it's not your first progression, even when it's not the most exciting completion of all time, and you're getting to TJ off of a little nudge and a protection to help here.
Well, we have to go. It's a little wordy. I have 3 thank yous, Tenby. First of all, thanks for having me.
Hey, great job.
You as well. Want to thank Just a Guy. Just a Guy, a listener, sent us congratulatory 20-year anniversary card, a small gift. He gave us each a dozen golf balls and a gift card. At least we were recognized by someone. Would have been nice to be recognized by the company, but that was not the case. And want to thank Caribou, the Boo, the answer to my wish. They provided us with some of their always excellent traditional coffee. Got a dark roast from them. You can get a free one, too. Join the Caribou Perks Club now. Text PERKS to 762-CARIBOU to enroll today. PERKS to 762-CARIBOU today to enroll. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 12 noon, or 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock because of the PJ Flex Show. But stick around. Big Ticket and Brett Blakemore next.
Of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.